Good evening, November 24th, 2021. Let's look at Bitcoin here, which has continued to chop. So yesterday I had noted that with this break upwards of that 57.3K area, we were certainly not going down impulsively. The possibility of a diagonal downwards was still in place. It was certainly possible that signified we were just going to continue chopping sideways. At the moment, it looks like that is the more likely scenario. I suppose it could be a very strange diagonal still. Let's see, if this was going to be 3, it'd be like A. B has come higher now, and we could still see a C down here for this third wave, but it's really quite unclear how that may end up playing out, and no longer really looks like a clean channel downwards, which should have looked something like this, possibly downwards in some sort of fashion like this. So not to say that it's impossible for it to drop right now, but I think the probabilities are certainly leaning towards it just kind of chopping around in this area for a while longer, like I said, potentially through the end of the month, and we'll go from there as far as what that means. Once we do start moving up, this is within this larger diagonal that I've been talking about. Right here's the 2 lines of this diagonal move, and within the parameters of that, we should stay above this diagonal line, and at some point we'll start moving upwards a little bit more aggressively, but really that could signify the end of the bull market completely, because in that scenario we've already done 3 and 4 in this area here, and we just have one more leg up. So that does possibly put a damper on things as far as Bitcoin bull market goes. It could go up to like 80 or 90K and simply be done. So unless it gives me some indication, to negate that possibility, that is what I'm going to be watching for if we do maintain above this diagonal upward trend line and begin pressing upwards again. So not really a great time, in my opinion, to be leverage longing Bitcoin. Potentially if you can get onto like a, I don't know if any futures has like a March contract or something like that. I wouldn't grab a perpetual long for sure, because you're going to pay funding, tons and tons of funding while you're waiting for this to go. But if you wanted to start building along on like a quarterly contract, December, I don't know if December would be a good place to do that. December contracts potentially might be a good place to do that. I just don't know how high it's going to go by the end of December. But you could always do December contracts now and then kind of roll them over into March contracts when they appear on whatever exchange you're using, if you were so inclined to do that. I would probably not necessarily stop out if it breaks down below this line. However, you could conceivably look to potentially average down around here, because I think that's still a good area to target if we do break down 52 to 53. So you could average the longs down there and then very likely get out on the next bounce up, because as I said in the previous video, if we do come down here, I'll expect a B wave up and then potentially further downside from there, although it's possible it just goes up from there as well. But basically, takeaway from this video is that Bitcoin is continuing to chop. I do not expect a violent move in either direction based on any of the action that I'm seeing. So basically expect some more sideways chop. Any large move we get is likely to be pushed back in either direction. If we move down, it's likely to bounce up. If we move up, it's likely to come down. Now, like I said, we need to be ready for it to start pushing higher at some point, but it is going to be choppy, and there very likely will be a large rejection before it's ready to go up. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I'll probably be around to do a video tomorrow as well. So happy Thanksgiving to all of those in the States, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.